In a world where artificial intelligence dominates the film and media industry, students and professionals struggle to keep up with the competition. Many professionals lose jobs to a machine that can compose any image you can imagine in a higher quality than those without resources and budget can ever dream of creating. I use the word compose very specifically because these machines cannot create. They cannot invent, innovate, or dream. They instead steal from across the internet and shuffle their illegal goods into a new mixture of soulless slop. But what do the future filmmakers and artists of today think of this new phenomenon? Do they fear lack of work, lack of creative freedom, or are they eager for the shortcuts artificial intelligence can provide them with?
I consider AI to be an incredibly exploitative industry that does not give credit to the original artist because it's just theft.
I know a bit about AI art and that. People claim that they're artists when they're using AI robots to generate images. I do feel like AI art and that is dangerous to careers.
It can be used for dangerous reasons. It's all about how you use it. Not in a professional sense. I've used ChatGPT to write like raps about my friends and how they suck.
The only time I've used AI in my coursework is to try and find sources to help me, but otherwise, no. And I don't know anyone else who agrees with using AI in their work.
But learning, really, is making mistakes and finding things out for yourself.
I feel like AI is damaging possible careers for people in media.
I try to stay hopeful about my role in the film industry.
It's removing lots of possible careers for people. It's going to be harder and more competitive to try and find a job.
There's been the strikes to combat and bring down more legislation over AI. So I think it will impact the film industry and it will impact my own job. But I do feel hopeful that there is change happening.
I'd say a positive use of AI is more dangerous jobs.
I guess there's sort of levels to AI. There's completely rewriting and there's text generation and there's things that can support maybe grammar, spelling.
Operating heavy machinery. You can program AI to do that. So it can learn and take over for people who don't have to risk their lives to do something anymore.
For someone who maybe struggles, maybe someone with dyslexia, they don't see that the words are spelled wrong. So AI quickly does a scan and then corrects those. That could be support.
Not yet, but I think that will occur very soon. I would expect the first people to lose jobs would be working in graphic design, mainly because most graphic design briefs from clients are make it like this thing that already exists. I think so, yes. This was in the early days of it, and funnily enough, we were discussing it I think a couple of days beforehand for a piece of coursework. They had to write a script, and a student basically at the last minute, they hadn't done any work, and at the last minute they handed in a script that was both the best and worst piece of work I've ever seen in my life. Best because it was laid out completely professionally, and I hadn't taught script layout at that point, so I was stunned that they'd laid it out exactly like an industry standard script, but it was filled with utter gobbledygook and long words that when questions, the student didn't seem to know what the long words meant, because I kept slipping them into conversation. But at that point, the college didn't have any outlines, which is the usual problem that we have. So I think it did get through. We had to presume that it was the students' work, although I did ask them if it was AI, and they said no. But it so was. I think there are, from a film point of view, I think there are a couple of instances where AI has been used. Is it Late Night with the Devil, where they used AI to produce the screen idents in between the show and stuff like that? And I think there's instances of poster design where AI has been used. Oh my goodness. I really do hope this is one of those instances where I can look back at what I'm about to say and laugh hysterically at it, as if like, you fool, you didn't know anything. I'm reminded of a moment many years ago when somebody told me that the internet would never catch on, and you know, I still laugh about that to this day. So maybe this is about to be one of those moments, but I think what it is going to come down to at the end of the day is the audience and how people accept it. So from a film point of view, if the audience sort of treat it as a bit of a gimmick, the AI has created the script and the actors and stuff, they may go and see 1 or 2 AI films, and then they might lose interest and go, well, that was fun, but you know, enough of that now, back to the real films, in which case it'll be a passing fad, or it'll find its niche within the industry, and that'll be the end of that. The other alternative is, of course, that the audience doesn't really care that there aren't human beings making the art. I think definitely in terms of things like pre-visualization of projects, it could be very useful. You have to remember at all times that it's not really, even though it's called AI, it's not actually intelligent. What it is like a really good search engine. I don't see it really being a replacement for human creativity at the moment. I think it will take a long time before it becomes creative. Creativity is such a weird thing in that it's sort of predicting what's not going to happen almost. It's going, it's going left when all reasoning says you should be going right. It's doing the unexpected, it's subverting expectations, it's not following a trend, it's creating one. And that's where AI is going to struggle currently. And I think that's probably the only way for artists to fight back against it, is to keep changing their style and coming up with, maybe it will force us to become more original and, and come up with new ideas.
Hello, everyone. I'm ChatGPT. My purpose is to provide information. I'm excited to be a part of this documentary. The use of AI generation in the film, TV, and media industry poses several dangers, including job displacement for creatives, a potential decline in content quality due to lack of emotional depth, and intellectual property issues stemming from copyright infringement. Yes,